So welcome, my friend, to my final video here in my series on all about making health and fitness a heck of a lot easier so you get much better results, much faster, that you can actually keep, and with much less work and effort that doesn't compromise your quality of life. In today's episode, I'm going to be discussing the overall reaching principles that you can apply to everything with health and fitness. So the first principle is one you may have heard a lot referred to in the financial sectors, because once again, this whole series is all about the economics of health and fitness. So this principle holds true here as well, which is live within your means. This is usually referred to financial work and stress, because when you live within your means financially, it's a lot less stressful. It's a less debt. It's a lot less work on your part when it comes to financial situation. And the same is true in fitness as well. You don't have to max out your credit card when you're building a home gym. You don't need to use every single minute of your lunch break in your workout. And you don't have to spend every ounce of energy you've got in your workout. Now, of course, a lot of times people will do that, thinking that they're maximizing or optimizing their results, largely, again, because they don't know what objectives they're actually trying to achieve with their diet and exercise habits. So remember that when you don't know what you're doing, hard work and effort itself becomes the objective. And when we max out our resources and spend every dollar, every minute, and every ounce of energy we have, it feels like we're getting as much as we can. But remember, always diminishing rate of return and exponential increase in cost. So that last little bit that you're going after probably isn't going to do a whole heck of a lot, but it sure is going to cost you, which is why don't feel guilty about saving a few reps or sets in the tank at the end of the workout. You don't have to run until your legs feel like they're going to fall off, and you don't have to use every minute of your lunch break during your workout. Save yourself a little bit, because it's going to make it a lot easier on yourself for your body, mind, and lifestyle, less stress, but it's probably going to actually create the same or even a better stimulus. Now, I know trying to live within your means feels like, oh man, I'm going to really limit myself. I'm going to hold myself back. No, because principle number 2 is increase your means as much as you can. And it's a lot easier to live within your means when you just simply have more means. And this is why it's very important to make sure that you're having a satisfying and healthy diet, that you're making sure that you're getting good and adequate amounts of sleep, and you're managing things like time and money and energy and things, so you're not wasting a lot of it. It's a lot easier to both live within your means and accomplish more by spending more when you just have more energy and money and focus and other things that you can use in the first place. Principle number 3 is go directly after what you want. Don't assume correlation. I alluded to this in my previous episode on building muscle and strength, making it a lot easier, because a lot of times we assume correlation with one goal, thinking it's going to make us get the other goal. Oh, I bet if I have a really healthy diet, then I'm going to have six-pack abs. Oh, I'm sure that if I could do a million muscle-ups, I'm going to be jacked and ripped. Or look at this guy, look at what he does in his workout. I would get big and jacked like he did because if I did his workout. The fact of the matter is the actual results you see are due to many things. And usually we assign the responsibility of if I do a bunch of muscle ups or if I just eliminate sugar and stuff, that can play a role in achieving that result, but it's usually not even close to the entire story. And usually it's actually a much smaller piece of the puzzle than we actually think, to the degree where it almost has nothing to do with it. So when you want something specific, like six-pack abs, the ability to do 100 kettlebell snatches in 5 minutes, or to run a marathon, go directly after that thing. Don't assume that, well, if I accomplish this goal, then I'm going to also have this other goal, because that's where a lot of people waste a lot of time and energy. And even if you do accomplish that other goal that you want, you're probably going about it in a very efficient way. So you're holding yourself back and probably wasting a lot of work and effort in the process anyway. Principle number 4, in making things a lot easier, is make sure you're curating your environment. To a large degree, our habits and our behaviors are not so much the product of our willpower or discipline or anything. It's just environmental things. Like I've done a really hard job to make sure my apartment's got a pull-up bar, I've got a clean kitchen, and I don't have a television. So what does that mean? I do a lot of pull-ups. I can easily meal prep in my kitchen and make food for myself. And I'm almost never binge watching TV because I've curated my environment to basically support my goals and what I want. I have clean and comfortable clothes to exercise in. I also make sure that I've got plenty of healthy food stocked in the fridge. If you're trying to eat healthy, having a lot of junk food in the house is going to make it really hard. So you want your environment to be in alignment with what you want to accomplish. If you have a home gym, keep things set up, keep the weights on the barbell. A lot of times people come to me and they're like, oh yeah, I bought these dumbbells and I never use them. It's like, well, where are they? It's like, they're stashed under a workbench in the dark, dusty basement. It's like, well, of course you're not going to use them. Bring them out into the living room. Put them right next to the lazy boy sofa, if you like. Make things easy to do in your environment, because every bit of friction you have from your environment that goes against the habits you need to do in order to accomplish your goals is just going to make you work harder for less results. Another thing that makes things a lot easier is every once in a while, probably about biannually or so, do a motivation assessment over your methods and the goals that you're after. Because it's natural for what you want and what you're doing to change over time. You could have had a goal, for example, of I want to get big and jacked and have six-pack abs. But over time, you're like, you know what? I don't really want that. I just want to look and feel good. And so your goals have changed. So if you're still applying methods, pursuing a goal that you don't really want, well, now you're going to work twice as hard for things that aren't really in your wheelhouse. But if you are really honest with yourself and like, yeah, I want to just feel athletic and powerful when I'm playing soccer with my buddies, well, then go after that. And our goals are naturally going to change. It's also important to reassess your methods on whether or not they're helping you get there or if they're in alignment with your goals. So you could be going to the gym and lifting weights like crazy and thinking like, well, of course, that's the way you get big and jack and that's how you get really strong. But if you really think about it, you're like, yeah, but I really don't like going to the gym very much. I'd much rather work out at the park or at home or something. So being more aware of what motivates you as far as the method you're doing allows you to exchange methods that are out of alignment for yourself for methods that are in alignment with what you want to do and the goals you want to accomplish. The next principle, which is something that I've implemented for many years, which drastically makes things a lot easier, is implement adaptability. Adaptability is not something that is very popular or even recognized in our fitness culture because we often have a just do it, force yourself to conform kind of attitude where, especially with dogmatic practices of this is the diet, follow it, sit down, shut up, don't question it, don't change anything. Same thing with the workout. Like this is the way it's laid out. You have to do it no matter what. But a lot of times a dogmatic approach means that you're not in control. The rules are in control. The diet is in control. The workout program is in control. You're just the mere follower trying to keep up pace. So when we have adaptability, all that simply means is recognizing what you're doing. You always have your objective in mind. That's your compass needle for making your changes and saying, you know what? I know the program says to do 3 sets, but I really feel like I get the job done in 2 sets. Or I know the program says that I need to do this sort of exercise, but I really feel the muscles working better on this other exercise. So when you recognize that type of feedback and you respect yourself enough to abide by it, you change. You say, yeah, well, that was working for me. Now I'm going to make this change. Now I know that I'm on vacation and I've got this dietary approach, but boy, that's really not working for me at the big buffet on the cruise ship. So I'm going to change my diet around a little bit. Usually we think of dogmatic adherence as something that gives us control, but it actually takes it away from us. Because again, you're not in control. The diet is in control or the rules are in control. But when you recognize the friction that's coming about, it's like, yeah, this exercise or program or whatever, it's not working quite as well as I want to achieve my objectives doing it this way. I think I'm better off making this change. Make the change. You'll have a lot less work, stress on body, mind, and lifestyle, and you'll probably get much better results as well. The next tip is a simple one, which is get people to help you. This health and fitness thing is a heck of a lot easier when you've got help, either from a qualified coach or even just a good, solid workout buddy. Make sure they're not, just scrolling on their phone in between the sets going like, yeah, dude, you got it. Yeah, you're a beast. No, you have some social support in your corner. Because especially if you're trying to make some pretty big changes right off the bat, you're going to find that you're probably going to find a lot of friction from those around you who don't understand what you're going after. So you can find social support, of course, at work. You can join local meetups and clubs. You can hire coaches at the local gym or just simply put out feelers out there. Even just finding social support online with forums, and a lot of fitness apps have social connections too, and say, hey guys, having trouble with this right now. What do you guys think? That stuff goes a long way because we're always limited by our own knowledge, our own perspectives, and our own degree of proficiency. Having someone else's ideas and perspectives and tips on how to do something better can radically improve things very quickly, and you don't have to figure it all out for yourself with, quote, research online or on social media. Focusing on your locus of control is also paramount for not only getting much better results in fitness, but as a general perspective on life as well. Because the bottom line is, in this whole fitness thing, no one has full control of anything. And no one is ever fully in control of their weight. No one's fully in control of their workouts or their diet or what their body is capable of doing. Fitness is always a game between some things we can control, some things we can control with a great deal of effort, and other things we have no control over whatsoever, like my training history, or I can't go back in the past, my genetics, my age. I can't do anything about that. So a lot of times people will look at that and be like, oh, so there's no point in even trying. It's all out of my control. And other people are like, oh no, if I have the right diet or workout program, I can have absolute mastery over my body and nothing bad will ever happen or no consequences shall befall me. Of course, both perspectives are just wrong. They're not in touch with reality. Instead, some influences have some degree of control that you can have some ability to grab a hold of. And those are the things you want to focus on. Because, yeah, there's a lot of things about your body fat levels you can't control. Things like genetics and adipose distribution. And you can't do anything about that. But you can do something about the fact that there's better food in your fridge. You can do meal prep, which also makes it a lot easier to eat healthier. You can do things in your control right here and now. So focus on the things that you can have some control over, and you're going to be amazed at how much influence you have over your results, even though there's still a lot that you don't have control over it. And then the final principle to make things a lot easier and more effective is simply have faith and respect for yourself, which I know is a big of a tall order because a lot of times our messages in our fitness culture are like, you're the sorry sinner. You can't trust yourself to do what's right. You got to have the diet or the workout program save you from yourself. And this is where a lot of needless work and limitation comes from. Is because when people are ignoring their own personal feedback on like, this diet doesn't feel very good or this workout doesn't seem to be working for me, but I'm just going to keep following it because the experts told me to do so, you're limiting yourself, but also doing a lot of needless work. Bruce Lee said it himself. He said, we have more faith in that which we imitate than that which we originate for ourselves. And so having faith for yourself that you can do this, and know that what your body is telling you is true and it is honest. And more importantly, what you think, and you have that little voice in the back of your head saying, I think I'm better off going in this direction or doing it this way. Chances are very good that is 100% correct. And if it isn't right, then your feedback's going to tell you so pretty darn quickly. But having that self-confidence and self-worth to know that you've got this is very key in making the right decisions for you, rather than just blindly following dogmatic approaches that pull you out of alignment. So thank you very much for watching my video course here on how to make this whole health and fitness thing a lot easier and much more effective. I know I'm barely scratching the surface with this overall approach, but this is stuff that will get you about 80 to 90% there. And a lot of the stuff is just tweaks from here on out. If you do have further questions, go ahead and reach out to me at reddeltaproject@gmail.com, as well as I've always got my live feed open Q&As on the Red Delta Project podcast every Saturday at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time. Thank you very much for watching. Best of luck in your workouts as always. Be fit and live free.